Hi everyone, today we're going to continue to learn about living organisms in our life science unit. The organism that we're going to focus on today is the squid. Now squids are a part of the cephalopod family related to an octopus. And cephalopods basically mean head, foot. They only have these two sections on their body. Now they are similar to fish in that they use gills to breathe, and they have fins to help them move. This process is called locomotion, where they actually use their fins to swim, to balance, or to be able to change direction. You'll also see, I'll bring this a little bit closer, you'll be able to see tiny little dots on the squid's body. These are called the chromatophores. Chromatophores help the squid with camouflaging, with self-defense, and it's also a mating call to be able to call their friends over. Now they have some very, very advanced eyes, which actually help them. They're able to see really well in the dark. When we go further inside their head, they have a little, attached to their head, they have a neck. And inside of their neck, they have a beak and a mouth. Now this beak is the only part that cannot be digested by their predators. If a predator comes and wants to eat the squid, they're actually able to digest the entire part. And the only part that they can't digest is the beak. And the way they know this is because they have found many beaks inside of other animals' stomachs. Inside of the squid, there's also something that's different than other animals. They have 3 hearts that help them pump the blood. The way they move is that they have a siphon. Through this siphon, water comes in and they're able to shoot it out, and they jet through the water. They have a stomach that helps produce enzymes, and they also have an ink sac, and that is for self-defense. If they see a predator coming by, they will shoot out ink to be able to create this foggy area so that the predator won't be able to see them. Now on the bottom here, you'll see that they have 10 appendages sticking out. From these 10 appendages, they have 2 very long tentacles, and then they have 8 arms. The tentacles are there for grabbing the food and catching the prey, and then they pass it on to the arms, and then the arms will help actually bring the food closer to their mouth. And the other thing you'll see is closer on the model, you'll see they have these little suckers or suction cups on there, and that's able to help them grasp or to catch onto things, hold on to things a little bit better. What we're going to do next is, this was just a model of my squid, but what we're going to do next is I'm going to bring an actual squid and we're going to dissect it, and I'm going to show you all the different body parts, and they'll talk about structure and function of the squid as we dissect. Hi everyone, we are back and we are ready to dissect our real squid. What I have in front of me is a real squid. This is not alive. It was once alive, and this is one not that I found or anything, but I purchased this from a scientific supply company. So let's go through the parts again on a real squid. Now you can see there is, again, just a little review. It's a cephalopod. It's got a head and a foot, 2 body parts. And these are the 2 fins that it uses to swim, and it swims tail first, not head first, so it's jetting through the water. And when we look on the skin, these are the dark spots I was telling you about. These are the chromatophores. And if we keep coming down, we'll go to the head. And through the head, it has 2 eyes. And remember, the eyes are really, really very strong eyes that help them see at night. And down through the eyes connected are the arms and the tentacles, right? It's got 2 very, very long tentacles. And on the tentacles, the way you know that these are tentacles and not arms is because it's got these suckers on them, and the suckers are only at the bottom. They don't go all the way to the top. But it does have 8 arms for a total of 10 appendages, and on the arms it has suckers all the way throughout. And these suckers help it grasp onto different places, grasp onto its prey. And what we're going to do is actually we are going to go and look for the mouth, the beak that I told you is the only part that does not get digested. So I need to pull the arms apart a little bit. And while I tell you, we've changed our setting. I'm outside now just because there is a little bit of an odor. It's not terrible. And it's not the odor of the squid, but it's the odor of the chemical that they're preserving it in. So it's not so bad. I'm gonna pull apart the arms a little bit and I can see the beak starting to come out. I'm gonna use my tweezers to see if I can get the beak out. Okay, here we have the squid again. We have the fins, we have the mantle, the chromatophores, the two very long arms, and the tentacles. Now I see, you guys, they are invertebrates, but they do have a little bit of structure to them, and the way they have their structure is through a pen they have in their back. Just gonna see if I could get it out right now, but probably have to dissect it first. First thing I'm gonna do though, is I wanna show you guys the suckers on the arms. And you guys will see on the arms, they don't go all the way up, they're just at the very ends. But on the tentacles, they do have suckers all the way to the very top. So we are going to open up, we're gonna look for its mouth, and inside the mouth is where we're gonna find its brain, and inside the mouth is also where we're gonna find the beaks. So I'm going to pull it apart very carefully using my hands. I'm going to pull out the brain. See if I can do it in one shot without damaging. Oh, perfect. And we have the brain and we have the brain stem. And inside of the brain, we're gonna take out the two hard parts that do not get digested by the predators, and this is the beak. It's inside. We're going to take that out. There's another piece, the other part of the beak. Let's get both parts out. A little tough to do, just have to be patient. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here are the two parts of the beak. Put that down to the side. And now what I'm gonna do is, using a razor blade, I'm going to cut through the mantle, trying to be very careful not to cut any of the organs on the inside. Just a very, very, very light cut all the way to the top. I'm gonna pull open the two flaps, and I don't have my dissection kit with me, so I'm working with this piece of cardboard. Let's see if I can use a T-pin to kind of pin it down. I'm gonna pull one side down and push the other side. Actually works pretty well. And we'll do the same thing on the other side as we start to investigate the inside of the squid. Oh, not so well on this side. So the first thing I see is this cartilage part of the squid, which is called the pen. And this is what helps the squid keep its shape. We're gonna pull it down, and it goes all the way through the back side too. I'm gonna see if I can just pull it out. It is broken in these squids, but they are whole when the squid is alive. Try to see if I can find any structures that I can identify. So the first thing I see here are the gills. This is what the squid uses to breathe. Put that off to the side. I'm gonna try to see if I can find, here's the other set of the gills. Put that off to the side. And there is a finger-like structure in here that is the stomach, which is right here. Hard to grasp. And while I'm doing that, I found the ink sac. This is the ink sac that the squid uses to be able to scare off predators. I'm gonna take my pen and puncture the ink sac. Let's see if we can get some of the ink out of it. And show you guys the color. Really, really, really dark black. And oh, here's the rest of the pen. We'll get that out. And the one other structure that I want you guys to be able to see is how the squid is able to move inside of the water. So it's got a structure called the siphon. Now this siphon, it's a tiny little hole. What it does is it sucks up water through the mantle and it shoots the water out of the siphon, and it's able to jet through the water. Now this siphon is also used to shoot out the ink. Now any other structures, now we did talk about the eyes as well. It does have a pair of eyes, and these eyes are particularly good in being able to see at night and being able to see other predators. The squid do have a lot of predators, so they need to be very, very careful. I'm going to open it up a little bit more, show you guys the suckers on the tentacles. Now these suckers are, bring it closer, help grasp onto prey and help grasp onto places that they need to hold on to. Now these suckers kind of might remind you of those little plastic things you may have that if you want to stick something onto your window or onto a mirror. And this is something we call biomimicry, right? Where we have copied nature and we have used it in an engineering design. Hope you all enjoyed the squid dissection. So just to recap, what we did is we dissected different parts of the squid to learn a little bit more about structure and function. We learned about the two fins that it uses for locomotion to help it swim, to help it balance, and to help it change direction as it's swimming. We learned about the tentacles, the 2 long tentacles and the 8 arms for a total of 10 appendages. It has the long arms to be able to grasp onto prey, pass it on to the arms, and then the arms will take the food and put it inside of the mouth, and the mouth is where we'll take the food and eat the food and chew the food. We have the pen in the back that helps it keep a little bit of its shape. Inside of the squid, we found the gills, which help it breathe. We found the finger-like structure, which was the stomach that helps as the digestion of the food happens there. We also found inside the ink sac, right? And this is where the squid will use to shoot out ink when it sees a predator. And a little fun fact is you might see squid ink pasta or squid ink pizza or even squid ink rice, black rice. Is a food that you could eat in a restaurant. A few more things. On the squid on the back, you'll see the chromatophores. These are the pink dots that the squid will use to change color for a mating call or for camouflage and for self-defense. And the last thing that I wanted to show you, I think is the funnest thing is the siphon, right? This is the hole, so it will suck up water through the mantle and it shoots the water out this way, and it will swim, remember, tail first. And this siphon is also where the ink gets shot out as well. And here is the pen that's in the back of the squid to help it keep its shape. Hope you enjoyed the squid lesson and dissection. I've attached a link to a video for more information on squids. Thank you.